Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change.
Hi guys, welcome to another stream. Today we're going to be looking at Elliot Wave. Now I've got my Elliot Wave guru Fibonacci Lee with me, and the goal is to look at the Elliot Wave count most probable. We're going to share that with you. Then we're going to be looking at how the current liquidation levels impacts that count. We've got Fibonacci levels, how we trade that specific count with the rules. We're going to be applying them and see where there's overlaps and gaps so that we can determine what we should be doing next with our Bitcoin. So interested guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and then over to you, Fibonacci Lee.
How are you doing, buddy? How is everyone?
I'm fine. I actually, as a bonus, guys, I'm going to be looking at a little bit of a buy setup that we shared as well with everybody in the premium trade group. And it's currently, I won't say doing fireworks, but it's doing okay. So that's something that we're going to be looking at as well. So yeah, that's how I'm going. And I see there's a few of the regulars as usual. So guys, hello from the Czech Republic. And so yeah, send in your comments and let's get into this.
Okay, first I'm going to give you guys an update. Let me check if I have any kind of Discord thing open. I'm hearing a little bit of Discord notification. So I'm gonna give you an update about one of the first Elliot Wave counts that we've seen in this channel. Where on a bigger time frame we are looking at forced correction. Let me zoom out. So we can put in context on where we are at this stage. And one of the counts that I was following is to put only at top of the third wave at one of the pivot here in February 2021. And we were looking at a flat A, B, C with a B at all-time high at 64K. And in that scenario, we need to finish this C with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to have 5 waves, and which we can be here. We can see as an ending diagonal, and that one of the target of the 5th wave, it can go as deep as 11,493, but without going too far. And we have seen also an invalidation of this 4 at 13,764. So we didn't want to see this big 4 ending at below this 13,764. Okay, so within that we could have a 3 with 2, 4 on a smaller time frame here, and then what we're doing right now is basically the end of the 5th wave, which we can label like this: A, B, and C. Okay, now inside this A, B, C, B, and C, we need to have another 5 wave, like the bigger time frame one. So we can label something like this, for example, as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to remove the magnet so we can put the nice energy spot on that. And currently we could be busy doing a 4th wave, and we could end with a 5th wave. Okay, or I would even say, to go deeper, we are only busy with the 3rd wave, 2 to 3. 4 is not done, and then 5th we go much deeper like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3 for 1, 1, 2, 3 for 2, 3 wave for 3, and then 4 we need to have another 3 wave up, and then 3 wave down to finish the 5th wave. This is the roadmap where we can go from 2 to 3, 4, 5, and we can go towards 14,000, 13,000K. That is the bearish view on that one. Okay. Now, if we look at
Lee, we've got people saying no, 21K. The bearish view is not so kindly accepted.
Well, if you look at my Twitter account, I asked you guys which view you wanted to study, and this morning I was a little bit surprised because we are so bullish during the past 2 and 3 weeks. 59%, or close to 60% of the people wanted to see a bearish count. So is it to prepare for the plan B in case that our plan A, the bullish count, not going to work?
Maybe I'm gonna resend my bullish count. You can't edit after you.
It's done. Okay. It's done. The poll is done. So here you go. This is the bearish count that majority of the people out there wanted to see. So we are in the middle of doing 3 wave down to 3 here, 4 and 5. Another update from one of the count that we've seen last week, I think it was last week, where we're trying to see a triangle forming. Unfortunately, the triangle has been invalidated by this lower low. Okay. Now, what we can draw within that bullish count is, assuming we're calling the top of the 4 here, the fourth correction is done. We only have 3 wave, WXY, Y is there. And now we're starting something new. So we can call this as a first wave. And all what we are doing right now is a second wave retrace. And the second wave is not done yet. And that is basically the plan that we are following. In that plan, the small a, b, c is forming only, you can see the B wave. So that's only one part of that big correction of the red one, the second wave here. And inside that, we have exactly the ratio of a flat. 3 wave structure, 1, 2, 3. Flat come back to 123, 138, 2 here. And now what we are doing right now is basically end of B here and beginning of C. And we must always know that C is always 5 wave. So if that is the case, a flat on A, B, and C, B went to 132. Now we are starting something new, a small impulse wave in a smaller time frame. And that wave here, we have to be able to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave structure to the upside, which will look something similar to this. 1. And everything what we're doing for the past few days is the second wave. And now we have 3, we come back to 4, and we finish with 5 within that smaller structure here. Okay, so this is the bullish plan. And this is basically the plan that we're following for the past 2-3 days, where inside this structure here, we just did 1. The 2, remember, I said 2 can retrace to 50% or 618. It went to 50%. We went up. I was not quite happy for the structure for this, the smaller time frame wave. I was calling for the 3. So I was maybe the 2 is not done. And personally, I'm still waiting for the 618, so in the retrace for this 2 to finish. And then after that, we're going for the third wave, retrace on 4, and then 5. On that count, note that it's only a partial, is not the 2, we cannot call the 2 is done here. That is only one of the wave that's going to form the big 1 to 2, the big red one. So even if you go after that at 24K within this area, we can still come back to 17.8, 17.9, we can still revisit the lower low and retest this level again. If this is a flat, let's find from some confluences in that count. If that is the A, going back here, B is here. That is the lowest low that we got. A few targets that we need to remember is 618, which is going to be really, really weak. But most importantly, 21.5, 123, 22, 163, and 1618, which is 23,426. So those are all valid targets for this small B to C to finish. And after that, we can maybe call something like this, A, B, and C to finish the big equation.
Where's that upper target? Just repeat that price.
I would look at 21,415. That is the price on Bitfinex. 21,415. Okay. Calling 1, calling 2, calling 3. Okay, that's sold. Okay. 22,163. That's the second offer. And 23,426. That's the third.
Then you're out. That's when you leave.
Then yes, then at that kind of level, we have to be careful already. That move. And you can guess as well, if we go to 23,000 from this 25K to retrace to 18K, that is exactly also this reload zone 6187 at 6. Okay, without looking at
For
all those
continuation for
waves.
the downside.
Yeah. So I'll be careful here. Okay. Now, today we're gonna look at a new count that I think we touched on that count a little bit in the past. Okay, I'm gonna zoom out and you're gonna understand why it can be familiar. It can look familiar to the guys that are following us every single day. When we look at this count in the past, and this is a count that we can see quite often on the market, on Twitter, everywhere, from people that are really, really bearish, and they still want to see a fifth wave, X wave, sorry, here. Okay, and finished with a Z wave, that is the triple correction for Bitcoin to go much lower. And you will see a lot of people is putting already an X here for this price to go much lower, right? And I've given you guys a few reasons why I'm not really happy to put an X wave there, because compared to this X, the RSI structure here on a daily chart does not look the same as this X here. So I'm not quite happy to use that X as a reference. And another rule that I have for my X is an X wave must retrace to at least 38.2. And we can see on this chart, if I'm putting a fib level, we never went back to 38.2 level here as an X. It went back only to 23.6. So I'm not quite happy with that. So what do we do? So I was trying to fix this count and try to anticipate a little bit further down the road. What if the X here is not done yet? What if it's gonna really come back and retrace to 38.2 before making a decision, all right? At that stage, 38.2 will be 29K 289. So assuming X we finished here, what can form a Y to X wave? It's something with three wave structure, something like an ABC. Okay. And what if on a bigger time frame, this is the ABC that we need to track? Now on an ABC, you know that now B can retrace lower than A. And if that is a flat on a bigger time frame, flat level on correction on 123, 138.2, one of the most popular level to watch will be 15,857, 14,700, 1.15, 13,800, invalidation below 12,900. So technically, if this is A and B and C, that wave B can retrace as of today, right now from here, to as low as one of those three levels. Okay, and B can be anything, but most of the case, it is also an A and B and a C. Okay. So if I'm removing this, I'm gonna put those wave ABC. Udo, you stop me if you have any questions. Okay.
Well, I'm wondering where you're going to put in your liquidation levels, because I'm itching to see the way that it plays those liquidation levels.
Keep the suspense until the end, because this is going to help us a lot if you look at the Kingfisher chart. Well, help us a lot.
Down to how we're going to trade. That's the main thing, guys. You need to think about this now. This is going to set the foundation of a lot of understanding of why buys will be called at certain areas and why we're going to be looking at doing stuff that most people will disagree on.
And why you need to put stop losses as well. So,
yeah, where to protect. We have that problem. My stops always get hit. So this is what you want. This is the data you want to kind of see that, hey, if I know this, maybe I should put my stop there.
Again, if this is B to C, now C is always 5 waves, so we need to find 5 wave structure. 1, for example, here, 2 here, and this is gonna be the same as the first one that we've seen on this episode. Same structure, same similar waves as the first one, where we have to count 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Invalidation for this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 going down. Actually, you know what? 2 is here, so you don't want to see anything going above 20,500 area on that too. Okay. Otherwise, the 2 is going to be really, really big. You have to drag a 2 like this to make it a 2, and then 3, 4, 5. That will be really dragging this wave in terms of time in the future. But what I found interesting about discount now, and I'm referring to discount again because yesterday we talked about Wyckoff and your Wyckoff structure, okay? And I was almost joking by saying, are we going to stay in this area for how many months still, you know? So assuming if this is WXY and we have to find another X, which is going to only happen after this A, B, and C, we will have an X somewhere here. Let's assuming we don't normally use Fibonacci level like this. We're not going to project a Fibonacci level in the future, but assuming we find a bottom here on that Fib level at 14K, X at that time can retrace to 38.2, which is going to be 27K maybe, because the lower you go on that wave here, the X is going to become lower and lower according to this Fib. And now after that, we can still finish with a Y. With a Z wave, the last wave. But the Z wave on that structure can become easily another triangle, but that's a little bit too much of anticipation. But if that becomes an ABCDE, a triangle here, now we'll have a lot of consolidation at the bottom before the next bull run. So that count here like this will also make sense to me. Okay, where the low will be not at 17K, but maybe at 15K, 13K, or around this area. We're going back up towards 27. We're going back down, retest those 19, 18, 17, or whatever. For that triangle to form, it's going to be really tricky, really boring. We have all this time at the bottom to consolidate, and then we're going up. Reminder for those rules here, WXY, it can be of composition of zigzag, and a triangle, which we have here, zigzag, ABC as a zigzag, and then triangle at the end. Okay. So this is basically one of the 3 counts that we have currently now that I'm following. Remember, I'm still following this view first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I want to buy the retrace as X18, with obviously a stop. Now we know that there's so many different options to go down. We have to put a stop. Okay, so if you buy at 16 level, if that one failed, then I will be ready to buy at from 15K and those level above, below from 15,800. So now let's look at Kingfisher and what Kingfisher is giving us as information, and where is the most probability of those wave going. Okay. This is the website of Kingfisher. I just asked for the data. As you can see here, we have a lot of long liquidation here at the bottom between 13,000 and 13,500. This is the first peak. There's a batch of small long liquidation here between 14,005 and around 17,400. And to the upside, we have a little bit of liquidation between 19.5, and then here we have a big peak, 21.9, 22.1, this area. I have put some boxes on my chart as well, and I have labeled out all those Kingfisher level, which are those boxes here. Okay. So on that count, you can see that this is the most of the Kingfisher, the smaller liquidation on a long, from 17.5 to 14.4, and we have a small box here at the bottom between 13,000 and 13,005, where we had those big on Kingfisher. So if you put those boxes now towards those 3 counts, and you can see that now those Elliott wave and this liquidation level make a lot of sense. When we have A, B, C, we're coming back to this big liquidity area with maybe a quick wick to the downside to catch all those liquidation here, and then we're going up first. Or if we apply the Kingfisher charts liquidation level, didn't I have here? I haven't put here. Let me go back to this one, and we're gonna just syncing layout. Why can't I see them now?
Lee, you broke in trading view here, buddy. Okay, but let's guess them. Let's just quickly draw them over as a guest area. So,
They're here.
do you have them?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
So this will be the second view where we have A, B, C going up, going down first, and then up, killing all the short and all the long, coming back for Z wave as a triangle. So this is the current process of this B. Or the last one where we will go up first, catching those, and then catch this B wave going back down again for those liquidation level afterward.
Now, Lee, it's probably worth mentioning when we look at these liquidation levels and we look at these waves, you can see that within the liquidation waves, that there's where the Elliott waves are drawn out. So you're probably going to be experiencing a little bit of up and a little bit of down and a little bit of craziness, which is expected. Because if you look at Lee's last liquidation level for this bullish count, I'm just going to add it in there. Wave 3 to 4 is the one that takes the longest, and it's always the hardest one to trade, and it's the messiest one. And because it's sitting in that liquidation level, that kind of supports the theory that is where you would normally get a wave 3 to 4, because that is the momentum running out. There's a lot of hands, changing between or money changing between Bitcoin and crypto. So that's something to take note in there. So I really like that narrative that you've got going here about looking at the liquidation levels and applying those areas in there. So with that being said, if you want to try and short this, if you want to short and it's in the middle of a liquidation level, would that then, in your opinion, be a good idea, guys? Let me know. Do you want to short within a liquidation level? Let me know. A 111 in the chat if you want to short, or if you're going to rather want to pass on it, just give me a pass in the chat and then see, because I saw a comment here earlier. How does this apply to my 20,800 swing short that I've been sharing with you guys in a while? And that's a big thing now, because that 20,800 level, where is that within your chart there, Lee?
That's here. That's this level here.
So by that definition, it would be the worst time to short that if this is the count that's in effect in play, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's why for me, I know how can I put this? The 28 short, it is a good localization for me, because we have this gap in the past. There's a gap, another gap here on a daily chart. So I'd assume that we will have a little bit of transactions going around this kind of level here, meaning that it can go up, down, up, down, up, down. But as soon as we leave this 21,004, that's why you need to use a stop loss as well when you show that 20,800. You want to show 20,008, then give me your invalidation level or where you're going to put your stop losses. Because for me, on the daily charts, that thing goes to 28. It can shoot, through 28 quite quickly, and then come back, test 28,800, which is the wave 4 here, and then go up. So it's a tricky area to short. Well, if you short 28,800 because of this gap, technically your stop losses is here, 22,800 on a daily chart.
That's true. So the way that I would put it, the easiest way that I would try and put it for you guys so you can see, so I'm going to look at this chart. And what you see over here is, this is the range that we have. Bitcoin is expensive here. Bitcoin was cheap here. And everything in the middle, from this line to that line over there, is a negotiation. And this is where the risk runs. And now if you look at my 20,800 short idea, the idea was that whoever buys the long is going to want to go, if he gets it to that level, is going to take profit. It's going to TP hard there. And the reasoning is there's a lot of gaps there. There's trading that needs to happen. So if this is a scenario that bearish wave of Lee comes out, that bearish analysis that you showed first, this would probably be the highest point before we start invalidating that wave count, because your bearish wave count, isn't it something that does something like this? And if we start going into this area over here, it's no longer a 5 wave, isn't it?
Yeah, it needs to be 5 wave.
I'm going to bring up your screen. Show me. Because
first
that's the idea behind the 20,800 short, is to just try and hope for maybe that scenario playing out.
Yeah, well, if you count at 20,800, I mean, if this 4 is here, the key now is to find either an impulse wave down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is most likely not an impulse because it's taking too much of time for the third wave to draw.
It's not clean.
And maybe an ending diagonal. So ending diagonal, you need to find ABC, 3 wave down all the time. So let's focus. Let's spend a little bit of time on that one. If that is 1, 2, 3, okay, that could be another classic 1, 2, 3 like this, and then I can count 1, 2. I mean, on this smaller time frame, you have 1, 2, 3 as well. I'm not good with that tool here.
Yeah, and it's very small. You're gonna have to zoom in if you want to do those smaller time counts.
Let's go 4 hour time frame count. Okay, so if we're assuming that this is 22.7, it's already too high a stop that is here. So if that is a B, now B to C, you need to find 5 wave. So if we count, I'm gonna use that ABC tool for 3 wave structure. If we count 1, 2, 3, and this is the lowest point here at that point, 1, 2, 3, ABC, okay? We need to have another ABC on 2. That is the highest point.
Yeah, we can agree that those are both ABCs. Let me know in the comments if you do.
And now we have the third wave. If this is A, we are still doing a B. B can be here already, or we can go a little bit higher for B and then C. Okay,
but the problem is the max is 125, isn't it? What is the highest B can realistically go?
What the thing is here 2. Because we choose to put 2 here, this thing in the middle cannot go above this level here. So that's 20,500. That's why the invalidation for this diagonal for me is that. If we choose to have a 2 at 20,800, then you need to put the second wave here, 20,800 at that stage, like a B like this. And your stop will be still needed to be put at 22,800 here. But if you choose to put a 2 here already, which is to me looks a little bit more harmonic. Harmonic, it looks nice on the screen to have 1, 2, 3 is the longest one, 4 retrace, and 5. And at none of the stage, 4 can go above 2, or 2 can go above 1. So unless we go to 20,800, we invalidate this ABC to the downside, we find something else. But at that stage, textbook, you need to put your stop loss at 22,800.
That's it. You have to consider the invalidation levels. Okay, Lee, I've got something that I want to share. Is there anything you want to close off with your Elliot count? Any closing argument you want to make? Where should we buy? Where should we sell? Let's quickly have a look at that bullish count of yours, and let's just quickly give everybody like a a short.
Okay, the next setup. Let's look at as a day trader. What will be the setup that I will be interested to play with? Okay, I'm looking at this. I mean, market is boring. You are a day trader. Even the most bearish view as WX, X come to 32. We know we have identified some bottoms here around these green boxes, 15, 14. Even if you buy at this level, if price goes back to 27, that's 80% gain. Yes, we are in this 15-20 kind of level of price of Bitcoin, but if that is not a good swing trade, buying one of those level here, you can put a stop losses using those boxes, for example, on a daily chart, using this indicator on the daily chart. I don't think it's going to go lower than 12,800 in one drop. So if you can catch a little bit of this inside, a little bit of Bitcoin inside this green box, put the stop loss, $2,000-$3,000 lower, but for a 25,000 to 27,000 target, that's a nice swing trade for a few days, a month or two, as a day trader. If you believe that this is the count that Bitcoin has stored for us for the next month or two, right? You're not risking much on that. Obviously, you calculate your risk. You don't go all in. You can, because if you get stopped out from here to bottom of this box, that's a 14% stop losses. Okay, for 80% gain, that's a good risk reward ratio on for a day trader. But don't put a 10x here on that kind of stop losses. Okay, that is liquidation guaranteed.
Yeah, that's how you wreck yourself. Okay, guys, let's quickly have a look at my long and how good they are doing. Or where is it at? So I'm going to bring up my screen and I'm going to bring up Discord. So a while ago, after we had this initial buy, remember I said, well, that's the buy. We want to try and get it. Price went there. We grabbed the buy with that big wick that we had over there. I said, listen, I'm loving the long side. I took some profit and I'm adding a limit order at around 1865 with the stop below at 18.6. So I was out this morning at the gym, came back, order hit. Now I have to be honest, guys, I'm partially filled on that order because I've been staggering my buys around that area and not all of them took. But I'm happy to say that I've got a little bit more in now. So just to put it back, to move to that chart, this is the area and this is how I got that buy. And this is as simple as the way it is. If you look at this price action, where is the big support? There is big support. It's always testing that range. So all that I did is just localize and buy around that area, saying to myself, well, that's the buy. And the reason I can do it and afford to do that is because I bought here. I can carry some risk to see what it does. My worry, though now is something that you need to consider with anybody that's got that long in. Okay, so simple thing you need to consider is we're right up against a resistance level now. So I would want to see this candle get above that range to try and target higher areas. And I'm going to be greedy with this buy. I'm not going to literally just take profit at this stage now. I'm not going to be part of the resistance because I'm still hopeful. And I've still got that same narrative for Lee for the bigger bullish count. And maybe this is the move that gets us there. And maybe this short only becomes a short-term short, because that's the thing about this analysis that I've got going. Even if that short plays out and it doesn't just run through it, remember I shorted right there as well. So on the Discord, and it literally just ran through my short. So I played the narrative that what if we don't get a higher high and the buy fails? So I had a short there as well. It ran through it, came back, and I'm fine with that. So what if this happens and it doesn't run through the short? If this then ends up failing and we're going down, I've already got a good short area. And I explained to you guys why, because big picture wise, if we look at this, got our Bitcoin in a good bargain zone, which is over here. This is when Bitcoin's in a good buy zone. And this is when Bitcoin's in a sell zone. And if we use our 50% fib, which is our best friend, when it's in the middle, that's negotiation. That's the worst time to take a leverage and to add to it. So that's where I'm hoping that the take profits will be bigger and the bears actually use that to sell into, so price moves on. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm waiting for this profit to be taken. Once it's there, and if you think about it, scale of time, look at the amount of time we stood here before the short happened. Now look at the amount of time we're here at the bottom before the long maybe happened. So let's just make the chart a little less messy. But you guys can see that it's roughly the way that the market is moving is it's taking time in certain areas to decide whether it wants to go and where it wants to go. It also needs to figure itself out. So the best short though and the best long is one that it's in a wick, one that immediately after you've taken it, price leaves that range. So we did do that. We did the hard work. Congratulations to everybody that did that as well with us. We did the hard work by buying the wicks. And now it's fighting. And this is where a lot of people are losing money. So yeah, okay. So that's the idea for me. I just want to try and trade that. I don't want to try and overtrade it or overthink it. I do have high hopes and dreams to try and get to this 20,800 for that ultimate short. And yes, this buy, if this buy fails, we start going and make a lower low. My stop sitting right at that with that position. If we make a lower low, this is going to be a good area to buy, and we've explained that in yesterday's video as well. Now, if you want to get access to the premium trade group where we share our thoughts, more of a 27-hour type thing, head over to the Discord, guys. All you need to do is scan the QR code. And when you're at the Discord, go to the Get Premiums Access channel. There's a little Google form there. You fill in the form. The form looks like this. You literally choose your exchange that you want to sign up with, OKX, Bitget, Prime, or Bybit, whatever, which one. After you've done that, let's work with OKX because it also gives you the support resistance indicator. All you need to do is just fund it with the minimum funds, so you don't have to pay for it, actually. You get sponsored for it. You fund it with the minimum funds required. Send us your OKX username. There they show you where it is. And your TradingView username, and they will grant you access to the trading indicator as well. Now, this trading indicator was this indicator that we used to calculate all the support and resistance levels. And as you can see, so if you maybe new to trading, you're not sure where support and resistance levels is, we're right up against resistance at the moment. Once we get above that line, that will obviously turn into a support level. And that's it. So that's the whole idea behind this. Fibonacci Lee, I don't have anything more to say. Today is kind of Elliott Wave Thunder. Any little Elliott wisdom that you can share with us?
No
Elliott wisdom. Head over to the Discord. That should be your wording.
Yeah. Is there any wisdom in Elliott Wave? Elliott Wave, it is that it is. It's just showing you. You refer a lot back to what has been printed. You try to guess or to predict what's gonna come next, and as you can see, there's always multiple different counts. You need to be how to say it, flexible, really fast on a smaller time frame.
Plan for all the accounts. Now I want to ask Matty. Let us know in the comments if that answers your question on the swing short question that we have. And then for the rest of you guys, I want to say have a lovely day. Head over to the Discord. Leo, are you going to be doing some live trading in the Discord? Is there anything you would want to try and take today?
We are in a short. I'm in a short from, so I'm still waiting for a lower low. So I don't know. You get the long before we did. Myself, I don't know if a few members are still waiting for the 618. And now that, we have this perspective that the price can also go down much lower, I'm thinking, must I close the short and take a long, or just, use another account? For example, my short is on OKX. Maybe I'm going to go to Bitget and open a long at 618 and then let the market decide what they want to do. And that's called hedging.
Well, there you have it. Matty says, he said he's sorted. And if it fails, yes, well, we'll take it. We'll take it step by step. That's why we're here every day, guys. At the end of the day, we take it step by step. Okay, Lee, thanks a lot. Thanks, everybody. As always, keep hustling.
Keep hustling.